Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, Today we are going to learn the second last chapter for this subject, which is capital budgeting techniques. Capital budgeting techniques ni is a follow up. Dia bukanlah follow up, dia macam nak kata supplementary tak juga. It is just equally important as capital budgeting, tapi ini part yang mana kita nak guna technical parts of capital budgeting. Kalau macam the first part is kita guna macam accounting punya macam approach kan, tapi untuk this part dia macam kepada empirical ataupun mathematical punya approach. So, what are the techniques in capital budgeting? Okay, in this topic, we are going to see the deeper means of capital budgeting, and that is the technical ways that allow for the further analysis that the firm needs to choose from. Okay, there are a lot of techniques. Kita akan tengok jadi kita ada payback period, kita ada net present value, and also internal rate of return. So what is payback period? The first technique is payback period. Payback period is a budgeting technique that looks in the time taken to pay the amount of initial outlay. So kat sini maksud dia kalau kita tengok kan, macam sebelum ni kita dah belajar yang bila timeline tu, kalau 0 tu that is the initial outlay. Okay, so nanti yang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tu kita akan kira the lifespan of the machine lah. Okay, bila kita dah kira lifespan of machine tu, kalau kata 5 tahun, 5 tahun. Kalau 10 tahun, 10 tahun. So 10 tahun tu kita akan kira berapa dia punya after tax differential cash flow, ataupun pada senang sekali kita sebutkan CF je lah, ataupun cash flow. Okay, so kat situ kita akan tengok based on that cash flow, berapa lama masa nak diambil untuk kita bayar semula ataupun to clear the initial outlay punya payment. Berapa lama. Okay, but then payback period is just so simple that it has a lot of drawbacks. Okay, one of the drawbacks is it is so unrealistic. Okay, even though orang kata apa, nampak macam senang kan, macam logik lah kan, bayar ikut berapa lama based on the after tax different cash flow, tapi mestilah ada duit kita nak kita boleh nak kata apa, kita boleh based on kata apa, kita nak guna duit tu, kita nak buat benda lain untuk reinvest ke apa ke semua tu ke. Okay, so jadi macam tak ada problem pun. Okay, maksudnya ada problem kat situ sebab it is so unrealistic. Okay, and then kita ada, it does not take TVOM consideration, that is time value of money. Sebab apa, kita logically speaking, as time goes by, inflation rate ataupun the time value of money lagi RM1 today is not equal to be RM1 tomorrow. Who never knows kan. Tapi sekarang kita ambil based on annual punya basis. So setiap tahun nilai RM1 tu mungkin akan lagi berkurang ataupun bertambah. Okay, so that's why the second drawbacks ni lead to the discounted payback period, in which it accounts for the time value of money, okay, in deciding the relevant discount period. Tapi walaupun kita ada time value of money pun, it is a little bit unrealistic because kita nak guna duit tu untuk buat benda lain. Okay, bukanlah kita dapat profit, bukan kita nak bayar benda tu kan. Kita macam, even though at the first year, at the second year tu kita kena bayar dia punya hutang, tapi kita ada benda lain kita nak buat juga. Kita tak akan kita habiskan semuanya dalam dalam semua seluruh kalau 2 tahun dia suruh habiskan bayar, habis bayar 2 tahun, habis duit yang lebih kita tak boleh nak buat modal ataupun nak berniaga. Alright, okay. Moving on to the net present value. Okay, what is net present value? Okay, kejap lagi saya akan tunjuk dia punya kaedah-kaedah nak mengira, sebab macam sebab ini kita akan macam explain lah what are the orang kata apa, what are the konsep ataupun teknik. Jadi kita akan masuk ke technical part kat situ. Alright, the second technique is net present value. Okay, it stresses the timing of cash flows, and cash flow will be discounted at a specified rate. Okay, specified rate, it is based on the rate dalam soalan lah. Kalau dia kata 5% is the interest rate. Dia punya interest rate kat situ. Dia punya untuk kita as a base of cash flow punya discounting punya method. Okay, net present value is the most logical one. Sebab apa, kita akan, kalau macam lifespan of a machine maybe dalam 10 years, So tenis tu kita akan discount based on the same rate, interest rate. So nanti kita jumlahkan bagi tambah discount apa semua tu, kita akan jumlahkan semua, and then kita akan tengok dia punya net present value berapa. Sebab tu maksudnya net. Okay, net present value equals to berapa, and then if NPV tu net present value tu NPV, it exceeds the amount of initial outlay, we can take the project. If the NPV is fewer than the initial outlay, we reject the project. Okay, that is so easy. It's just that we have to calculate it after this lah, afterwards. Okay, and the last one is internal rate of return. Internal of return ni is used to determine the yield or the rate of return on an investment or a project. Okay, so IRR ni dia benda apa? Dia macam NPV, tapi kalau macam NPV, dia dah diberitahu dah berapa dia punya interest rate. Tapi kalau IRR ni, even though dalam soalan dia akan bagi cost of capital kan, apa semua tu dia akan bagi berapa persen interest rate tu, let's say 5%. Tapi IRR ni dia nak kira macam benda apa kita cakap IRR ni dia macam what we call the minimum amount of interest that you have to pay to your shareholders. Okay, kalau dia tak mencapai maksud bila IRR tu, that is the minimum base. Okay, let's say kalau kita dah macam IRR ni, kita dah kira dia punya total net present value. Okay, from IRR kita akan dapat dia punya net present value. Okay, bila kita dia punya net present value tu, kalau dia exceeds exceeds the initial outlay, and then kita reject the decision. Sama je macam NPV, tapi IRR ni dia complicated sikit sebab kita kena cari the interest rate dulu. Okay, kita cari interest rate, baru kita boleh kira dia punya NPV. Macam tu. Okay, but then I will not show you this part lah, because it is a tad bit too complicated and it requires you to use financial calculator. So I don't think that it will be feasible for us to do this kind of thing in this class. But then afterwards, nanti kalau degree pun sama juga akan belajar. Okay, so IRR is an alternative to NPV and is closely related to it. Advantages of IRR: it uses cash flow and is able to reflect the true timing of the benefits and costs involved with the project. It applies the TVOM concept and therefore allows comparison of project cash flow in a logical manner. Okay, ini sama je macam NPV. Dia punya advantages of IRR dengan NPV sebenarnya sama. It is generally the same, but then IRR requires to find the internal rate of return required by the company to pay the shareholders back. Okay, so IRR is related to NPV and usually leads to identical decisions. Maksudnya kalau kita dalam soalan tanya find the NPV, find the IRR, selalunya the decision, selalunya NPV tu akan positif. Kalau IRR pun dia punya NPV akan positif. So maksudnya kat situ consistency punya factor kat situ kita nampak lah. So we can accept the decision whether we want to accept ataupun reject the decision of regarding of the project that we are trying to find the feasibility. Okay, so it is easily understood as it stresses the rate of return a project earns. Okay, alright, but there are also disadvantages in IRR. Okay, this method is tedious and time consuming as it normally requires us to use a trial and error basis to determine the IRR. Okay, memang kata apa, renyah sangat nak buat ni sebab macam if we use in a real world pun, many people will not be able to buy the financial calculator because it is very expensive. Lain lah kalau that person is practicing financial analyst ke apa semua. Okay, the use of financial calculator is just as important as the career is. Okay, it also may result in the wrong decision in the case of mutually exclusive project. Okay, kalau mutually exclusive project ni in a way dia macam kata ialah macam mutually exclusive ni, you have to choose which of the project you want to choose. Tapi kadang-kadang it will lead to wrong decision, and then the effect will be prolonged until kalau macam the lifespan of the machine, kalau 10 tahun lah kita punya problem, kita akan rugi. Okay, that is the advantages of IRR. Okay, alright, moving on to the rasanya dah okay, moving on to the technical part. Okay, alright, okay, moving on to the technical part. So the capital budgeting techniques, kita start dengan payback period first. Okay, kalau macam previously cakap, in capital budgeting, dalam after tax differential cash flow, it will give us it will be two types of cash flows kan. Kita akan ada identical cash flow over the lifespan of a machine, and also an identical cash flow in the lifespan of orang kata apa, of the machine. Okay, kadang-kadang macam kadang-kadang kata apa, financial analyst tu dia boleh expect kalau 1 tahun tu dia boleh dalam 5 tahun je dia gunakan satu resource tu, so year 6 until the end of the lifespan benda tu tak guna, so dia punya benefit tu lagi banyak lah. Okay, bertambah sikit. Sebab tu dia ada differences. Okay, so dalam payback period, okay, payback period ni kita dua kategori. Okay, when the after tax differential cash flow is the same, okay, dengan ada yang tak same. Okay, and this is not the same. Okay, and then okay, payback period. So kita pasti kalau timeline 0 ni maksudnya initial outlay lah. Okay, so ini dia punya lifespan of the machine, also known as ATDCF atau senang buat CFJ cash flow. So identical lah 18,000 sampai tahun keempat. So that is the after tax differential cash flow. So nak cari payback period senang je kalau untuk identical cash flow. Okay, so dia punya formula PP equal to initial outlay over cash flow. Itu sahaja. So 50,000 bahagi dengan 18,000 kita akan dapat 2.78 years. Okay, so answer je it takes 2.78 years to pay back the initial outlay. Okay, nampak tak? Maksudnya orang kata apa, maybe dia punya 2.78 dekat sini lah kan. Okay, dekat sini. Okay, 2.78. Let's say lah, kita assume kan dekat-dekat situ. So kat sini kata apa, kita nak cakap whether it's relevant or not, susah lah. Sebab takkanlah dia nak habiskan semua cash flow dia untuk bayar untuk initial outlay kan. Tak munasabah lah kan. Alright, and then moving on to when the cash flow is not the same. Okay, so kita guna dia punya the same, orang kata apa, the same initial outlay, which is 50,000 ringgit. Okay, and then the first year we are going to get 90,000 ringgit. The second year we are going to get 20,000 ringgit. Third year we are going to get 18,000 ringgit dengan final year 20,000 ringgit. Okay, first step, okay, you total up the ATDCF until it reaches to 50,000, aka the initial outlay. Okay, and usually it's not the same. Okay, dia takkan sama. Kita takkan okay, kalau dia reaches 50,000, that's fine, sebab nanti kita akan dapat apa, even answer. Tapi kita tak boleh lebih kirakan dia sampai dia lebih 50,000. Sebab apa, nanti kita tengok. So kalau kita tengok sini berapa? Okay, 19,000 tambah 20,000 tambah 18,000, kita akan dapat 57,000. So it states the 50,000 ringgit. This is not the whether to accept or reject decision. Okay, kita cari payback period. So kita cari bila dah lebih ni, maksudnya time taken tu, sebab ini tahun pertama, ini tahun kedua, ini ke tahun ketiga. So dia punya time taken nak bayar tu may have been less than 3 years. So maybe it needs maybe that 2 years or something else macam tu lah. So kita akan kena tambah dengan 19,000 dengan 20,000. Okay, which is 39,000 ringgit. So bila kita dapat 39,000 ringgit ni, apa kita kena buat? Kita kena buat dua ni. Okay, dua ni maksudnya apa? Year 1 dengan year 2. Okay, sebab kita dapat within 2 years kita boleh bayar 39,000. So kat sini dia punya 39,000. So formula dia IO minus accumulated CF yang kita dapat ni 39,000. 50,000 tolak 39,000 bahagi dengan cash flow at the year that we don't calculate. Okay, so maksudnya dekat tahun ketiga dia punya cash flow is 18,000. So 50,000 tolak dengan 39,000 bahagi dengan 18,000, kita akan dapat 2 plus 0.61, kita akan dapat 2.61 years. Okay, 2.61 tahun. Okay, sebab apa dia nak lebih kurang dengan yang atas kan? Sebab seguna yang sama je. Alright, okay. And then after payback period ni, tapi it has a lot of drawbacks. Kita akan ada discounted payback period. Okay, discounted payback period ni kenapa dia beza dengan regular payback period? Because we use time value of money. Okay, we use the same example lah. Okay, we use the same example. Taklah sama pun, dia punya initial outlay je. Okay, so kita tengok kat sini, tengok saya tak buat dia punya ni. Sebab apa? Macam untuk discounted payback period, kaedah dia sama je untuk kata apa, regardless whether it is identical or not. Sebab apa, kita kena guna time value of money. Okay, so kalau identical ni maybe either you can try on your own and then dapat berapa, and then kita guna yang different cash flow pula, guna yang terus different cash flow punya example. Okay, Okay, alright. So the drill is the same maksudnya the drill is the same sebab saya nak buat yang atas tadi tapi saya tak buat lah. So first what you have to do, you have to calculate the net present value of the cash flow until it reaches to the nearest initial outlay. Okay, nampak tak? When it reaches to the nearest initial outlay, macam tadi dekat payback period kan, sebab kita kira sampai tahun ketiga, we get RM57,000. But then in reality we just have to calculate until the thing is that we have to calculate sampai tahun kedua je RM39,000. It cannot exceed the 50,000 ataupun the initial amount of investment to find the payback period. Okay, so first what we have to do is that we need to calculate the NPV ataupun net present value of the cash flows until it reaches to the nearest initial outlay. Okay, so kat sini first PV, okay, first present value, first cash flow 1.05 tengok dia punya interest rate is 5% ya. Okay, 5%. Interest rate is equal to 5%. Sebab tu dia 1.05. Ingat present value formula dia macam mana kan? PV sama dengan FV over 1 plus interest rate to the power of N. N ni ikut tahun lah. Kalau first cash flow, first year punya cash flow, dia punya kuasa dia 1. Okay, 18,000 over 1.05 to the power of 1, kita akan dapat 17,142.86. Okay, so you have to follow the same. But then cash flow dia, dia punya cash flow dia lain. Dia punya dengan dia punya N pun lain. Nampak ni tahun kedua, ni tahun ketiga. Okay, so kita dah tambah sebab kita tak sure kan sama ada we need 3 years ataupun more ataupun 2 years or less. Okay, kita buat je sampai 3. So kalau saya dah buat ni senang je lah. So kita akan dapat total RM56,015.55, which it exceeds RM50,000 of the initial outlay. So what do we have to do? We just only add for 2 years only. Okay, so kita akan dapat this one plus this one. We will get RM283,283.45. Okay, so this will be in just 2 years. Okay, this figure is important sebab apa? Kita kena tengok. Okay, kaedah dia sama je. Okay, macam payback period. Okay, ini tahun yang kita we need to solve. Okay, 50,000 minus 35,283.45. Nampak tak? This one is the accumulated cash flow. Okay, accumulated cash flow that we have calculated based on the with respect of the time value of money over 20,732.10. Okay, okay, over this. Okay, the net present value of this kata apa, net present value of the third cash flow. Okay, bukannya dia punya cash flow yang original, but then the discounted cash flow. Okay, so we are going to get 2.71 years. Okay, 2.31, which is realistic lah, lebih kurang macam payback period kebetulan kan. Okay, alright, and then after that net present value pula kita akan belajar net present value. Let me change the color of this pen. Okay, maybe white lah. Okay, okay, so net present value. Okay, net present value tadi cakap kalau if NPV exceed the NPV of cash flow exceeds the initial outlay except the project. If the cash flow of the net present value net present value of the cash flow less than initial outlay, you have to reject the project. So kita guna je lah ni kan. Saya buat yang tak sama lah. Kalau sama pun kaedah dia sama je. Okay, 17,500, 22,000, 25,000 dengan 34,000. Alright, okay, so sama je macam tadi yang discounted payback period. Okay, but then tengok okay, dia punya tahun okay, so dia punya tahun lain. Nampak remember. Okay, and then kita tengok sini, dan ini kena tambah ni, kena tambah. Okay, kita akan dapat RM86,189, 14 sen. That exceeds RM50,000. Okay, RM50,000. So what is the decision? Okay, accept this decision. Okay, that's all untuk net present value. Very easy. Pretty much straightforward. Like you don't have to think of many things, but it is very easy. It's just that you have to know how to calculate the value. Okay, so that's all on net present value and also payback and discounted payback period. Okay, for IRR it's okay. Okay, we can just let go. Okay, inshallah. After this topic, we are going to finish with the last topic of this syllabus, which is issues in Islamic finance. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So I think